Uh-oh. I haven't recorded one of these in a long time because I've developed a visceral hatred for the internet and a visceral regret of how much pontification I have done on yay old internet, and how many of my opinions from my teenage self are just floating around in the metasphere. I don't like that. I wish I could be cool and mysterious and no one would know what's going on in my little noodle. But unfortunately, I'm a verbal processor, and because I had no friends, that's TMI. Okay, anyway, a lot of stuff ended up on the internet. I do not want to, and I have a tendency to TMI all over the internet, which is deeply unhealthy. And I hate the internet, and I hate you, and I hate Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon, actually. Jimmy Fallon's the guy I hate. Is it Jimmy Kimmel? What? They look like the same. They look like identical, Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. Like, they look like the same person. If I'm remembering the same people, they look like they're twins. Maybe they are brothers or something. I don't know. Jimmy Fallon is the one who I want to I wish was not in the position of entertainment that he is. I wish I was getting paid as much as Jimmy Fallon is for being incompetent as an entertainer. This is a good segue. Jimmy Fallon interviewed Tom Waits. I was watching that interview, and he did a bad job. Not Tom Waits. Jimmy Fallon did a bad job of interviewing Tom Waits. Here's a Tom Waits vinyl. I'm just gonna show off. This is showing off my vinyl collection. Rain Dogs is a pretty good album. I don't know why I got this, because they were at the vinyl store. I was like, it was on Valentine's Day, and I was like, I'm really sad. I should just buy a vinyl, which I don't usually do. I usually get them used, but I found a bunch of Tom Waits vinyls. And I don't know why I chose Rain Dogs. I think it's just because it's the most iconic, and they didn't have Mule Variations, and they did not have Bone Machine. What kind of vinyl store is this? Obviously, some people of taste were there before me. But the reason I pressed record on this video is because I wanted to talk about something Tom Waits said in an interview with a French woman. He said that songs are kind of like potatoes. You just sort of, I've never farmed potatoes, and I've never watched someone farm potatoes, but from what I understand, they grow underneath the ground, and then you pull them up by the root, and oh, look, there's a potato. And Tom Waits was talking about how you just sort of go into your garden, go to farm your potatoes, you pull them up. Sometimes they're worth that you just throw them away. Sometimes they're not worth keeping or anything, but sometimes it's a really good potato, and sometimes you pull them up and there's a lot of high quality produce there in that little adventure of yours. And then I paired that, this was my schizophrenia, what's that called? It's not schizophrenia, it's someone equated it to schizophrenia, which was kind of funny, but it's like non-linear processing, something like that. I was thinking of something Billy Joel said. I'm literally just showing off my vinyl collection. I have 2 Billy Joel records. I also have Glass Houses. Glass Houses, it's a good record. So funny story, there was this bidding app, I think called Whatnot or something. And it's like eBay, but like TikTok eBay. It's really weird, and it's very addictive, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. But I was waiting for Billy Joel's The Stranger, which was going for about like $5 at the starting price, and no one was watching this live stream, so I'm like, I have like 100% chance of being able to get The Stranger on vinyl for like under $20, which if you've been looking at vinyl prices recently is basically unprecedented. But I got on this app, and I was like, I even suggested it. I was like, can you start the bid for Billy Joel's The Stranger? And she was like, yeah, I can. And then she found The Stranger, and then she put it on, and then I pressed place bid, and it was like enter your address and your payment information before you can bid. I didn't know I had to enter my address and payment information before I could bid anything, but I had to do that. So I spent all the time filling out my address and payment information. And by that time, some other guy bid, I think it was like $12 for a vinyl, which it sounds insane if you don't collect vinyl, but vinyl is extraordinarily expensive. And he got away with it, just because I didn't know I had to put in my payment information. So anyway, that's a funny Billy Joel story, and that's why I don't have The Stranger. I also can't find it in any thrift stores because I'm too poor to actually buy real vinyl, except for on Valentine's Day. But Billy Joel, he writes songs in a very unique way. Look at this idiot. Oh my gosh. Look at this fool. Look at him. He's just such a weird dude. This like fiend. Billy Joel. Huh. That's cool. $9.99 is what I paid for this. That's a pretty good deal. Oh, there's more pictures of him. I'm getting really distracted. But Billy Joel was talking about how he doesn't write songs. He's such a funny looking kid. Such a funny looking creep. I'm being facetious, by the way. Look at him. He looks like, whoa, the vinyl almost went flying there. He looks like George Harrison. He was talking about how he doesn't write music in the way most artists do, where they just it comes to them in a dream or something, or like, you know, that kind of thing where it's like, oh, I just woke up in the middle of the night with the song fully formed and then I had to write it down. No, Billy Joel, he has to sit down at the piano, and it's sort of a hard, arduous process for him, and it's like painful in a lot of ways, and he has to force himself through it. And that's me as well. I don't really have grand visions where the song comes to me and I'm like, oh, I just saw it in a dream. I heard these chords in a dream and I got the melody. And no, it's like I need to sit down and work on it. So I was thinking about these two men, these two fine, strapping young men, and their approaches to songwriting, and concluded you need to put in the work to farm your potatoes. The potatoes are the end goal, but you don't get them for free. You don't just magically have potatoes appear to you. You have to intentionally go and farm them. You have to spend your Billy Joel time. You have to be Billy Joel and sit down and force yourself to concentrate and see what songs you can create. You have to go into your field and actually farm your potatoes to get any of your songs. And so that occurred to me. It's like, well, maybe a lot of people I meet, I'm like, you should write a song. And they're like, nah, I don't write songs. I don't like writing songs, or that's just not what I'm built for. Have you tried it? Have you tried pulling up on the root and seeing if there's a potato there? I don't know. It sounded a lot better in my head.